right.
Yeah, that's his cousin.
This is the thing, though.
Earring in his nose.
Can
Yeah,
Drake-
that's his cousin.
Can Drake,
That's his cousin. So
Drake-
he had it in.
Drake can
from
do a lot
time.
of things. Like Drake can start careers and make careers, but can he really break, like, since Meek Mill? Can he really break careers? Because like I believe that when he unfollowed Ice Spice, he thought that was gonna just end her. I thought that because it's obvious to everybody what happened in that situation, right?
He thought he was feeling you?
We saw the TikTok. And I'm sure everybody see the TikTok of the other guy who got the girl flued out.
Yeah.
And he's talking to her and he's driving her back to the airport.
Yeah.
Because he's like, no, you're not giving me none. I'm driving you back. And I want the ticket too.
Yeah.
You better pay for your own
Yeah.
flight. Right. So I feel like that's what happened to Drake. And he was just like, I'm gonna end you. And I'm gonna unfollow.
Yeah.
And it really
still alive.
so far it hasn't worked.
No.
So far it hasn't worked. I'm not gonna say in the long run it hasn't worked because
No, he didn't end Pusha neither.
but he didn't.
didn't
No,
end Pusha.
he can't.
The most
do that.
person that he really kind of took them off
It was-
their
it was
square
Meek. It was
was
Meek.
Meek Mill.
It was Meek, bro.
You know
He
what I'm
turned Meek
saying?
was lights off for a
Like,
second.
It was Meek.
Drake's not a
But Meek wasn't
career
ready.
ender.
Meek wasn't.
Yeah.
Ready.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he'll give you some,
And it left him scarred, fam. Like that whole
Meek?
ghostwriting thing is now a conversation.
I don't even
That
understand how
beef
Drake
left.
flipped that. That's incredible. That's
This
incredible.
is why
I
he's
don't think
Drake.
people realize how incredible that was. Like,
Well, it's
that
because
used to be the end of you in hip hop before.
I know,
That
but
used to
it's
be the
because
gun off
he's
it.
written for other people too.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he
So
had that in his
it's
back
like
pocket. You're right.
it's a give and take, man.
I think
That
he
was
had that
like,
in his
okay,
back
let me
pocket.
try
defense
something.
still.
No, that's true.
Let
No,
me
that's
try
true.
something.
That's true.
In his artistic creation and
He
his,
can write.
He
Yeah.
can write.
At the end of the
bro.
day, he can write, and this is my thing too. Like, if to create one album, right? Let's say you have an album that has, well, nowadays they have like 7, but let's say you had an album that has like 14 songs. I don't know how many people know this or how often you talk about this specifically, but nobody creates 14 songs to make a 14 song album. If you have a 14 song album and you're on these guys' levels, there's literally hundreds of songs.
Yeah, you're picking out of like at least
That's why they
40
take
to
a
50
year.
songs.
That's
Yeah.
why they take a year to make a song, to make an album. That's
Well, they
why
don't
take
have
so
to
long.
anymore.
Well, I mean, it's a lot quicker now,
Right.
but 'cause
That's
you don't
the
have to put as much work
That's
into
the
it.
essence that we're missing
Yeah.
in music again.
Certain
where
music,
we
certain
used
music.
to wait for an album. You know what I mean? You know, like Ice Cube's coming out, right?
Right.
Like, you know, he's about to drop in the spring because you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You
the
anticipated
promo.
it, right?
promo.
but
A lot of
you-
surprise
but
albums are coming
The
out.
point still
Yeah.
applies, right? They still
Yeah.
made more tunes than what was
Then-
Right.
Yes,
They're making,
yes,
you're making more songs
More
than
songs.
you're actually putting on the album, right? So
Yeah.
when you're doing that and all of that work, all of that study and all that type of stuff,
Yeah.
you gotta factor that in when people are actually listening to these things. These are the best songs that they're putting out there. So when you're sitting at home and you're making music,
Yeah.
I think a lot of these artists have to understand that like not every song that you make is great. Like not every song that you make is going to be the hit, even though your friends are backing you and all this type of stuff. What you need to do, because me personally, when I was writing music, every time I wrote another song, I was like, oh, this is better than the last one. This is better than the last one. This is better than the last one.
Yeah.
You need to start just writing more music and getting that and then narrowing that down to kind of create your bias, because like a lot of these people will look at Drake and look at what he's doing and be in shock and awe and type of stuff. And I know this man has hard drives of shit you will never hear. Like hard drives. And some of the songs
that he wrote.
are garbage. Some of the songs are garbage.
Yeah.
And he knows it, but he has that's what makes him so special.
Special.
Yeah. No, he
He has the humility to say this is
I think his argument is I wrote enough that I don't have to worry about the ones I didn't write because
Right.
I write this much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I write 98% of my shit and I got caught in my hand in the cookie jar for 2%, get the fuck out of here. Right? And even if you listen to the 2%, here's me being Drake's defense again.
Yes.
If you listen to his 2%, it's not exactly word for word how exactly the references are.
Right.
He changed parts.
Yeah.
He changed where the bars even land.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not exactly the
No,
same. So the
it's
man
like-
still had to write on top of what he fucking heard, fam.
Imagine him writing the songs himself, right? And he already has like hundreds of songs, and now he has to come up with more concepts,
Yeah.
more hooks, more verses,
More flow
things-
patterns.
more captions,
Yeah, go find me
more
somebody.
all of that type of stuff. At a certain point, yeah, like realistically,
Go find me somebody, Chuck.
this is why I can't even knock
Niggas
it.
acting like they wouldn't
This
do
is
it
why I
either.
can't even knock it. Like at a certain point, you gotta just be like, bro, I don't. If you, anybody who has any job, I don't care how much you love your job, there was a day that you didn't want to go in, and you would love it if you could have paid somebody else
Come up with that
to
hook
go
for
in
me, bro.
and do your job for you. There's not one person that's watching this that hasn't had that in their life.
That feeling.
Don't be mad because these artists out here can go out there and do it and then make more money off of it. Dog,
You know,
it's the way the world
you know what
works.
it's called though. Personally, it's called a writer's block. Sometimes
It's
That's what he said it was in the interviews. I'm not going by what he said in the interview.
Yeah.
Oh, it was writer's block, whatever. It's just, it is what it is, fam.
It was the truth. It was writer's block. Dog.
Yes, but you could have writer's block once a week.
Yeah.
Just get this nigga to fucking give me a hook, bro.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's
All
what he
you use
did.
the concept,
Say,
really.
go find me somebody.
The hardest
Jog my brain a little bit so I can
Yeah,
so I can
yeah.
get
The hardest
into
thing is getting
the
a
mood.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get in.
And not hearing something that's already out and then taking from that. Taking
Yeah, let me hear some new shit.
at a guy that nobody knows really, and just like, yo, give me that.
But we've bastardized the. But the thing is, also, what we're so stuck to we're married to the idea that like Jay-Z came up with all his lyrics and concepts. He did come up with all his lyrics, but he didn't come up with all his concepts, all his flows, and this documented where he took shit from.
Other
right,
rappers and
feeling
stuff,
it.
like bars and stuff. Flows.
I've said this on this podcast before, and he said it, or no, Clark Kent said it in an interview.
Okay.
Feeling It
Yeah.
was actually a Camp Low song originally. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I know that flow. That ain't Camp Low.
Yeah.
It's the exact same flow. He said, this is what Clark Kent said. Same flow. He took the hook. He didn't even change the hook. He took the whole hook from them.
Yeah.
And then he just added his own lyrics in their flow.
Yeah.
So is that not fucking stealing?
That yeah, but in a sense of being creative and showing you that I could take your flow and do it better.
Yeah, but he didn't come up with the flow. So niggas will be, in this day and age, they'd be on his head top like, yo, you didn't come up with that shit. I heard the reference.
Nah, because none of these kids all these kids have the same flow, really. Most artists nowadays kind of have the same.
Do you think it will get harder to write music as time goes on and more flows start to be created? And do you think there's ever going to be
I do want, listen,
not to copy someone?
Right there what you said, because you still rap, right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to come up with the fucking flows now that mans are like, okay, that's the new pocket. Like, I'm not doing the Detroit flow. I'm not doing the auto-tune flow. I'm not doing whatever the hot shit is now and then trying to figure out some new pockets. Like, Drake's doing a hard job when he comes up with a new pocket.
But he does his thing. He does his own thing. He stays in his own lane. And
But that's not easy, fam.
And niggas try to come into his lane and get ran the fuck over.
Like, nigga, imagine having to come up with new flows all the time, fam. So where people are like, that's not whack. Because you drop it. Like what we do here, this is why I podcast.
Yeah.
Because we could come up with a bad opinion somebody don't like. Next week, we come up with another one that people like. We good.
Yeah.
You drop a song and it's whack, that might be the end of your career if you keep on repeating that over and over again.
Yeah, it stays with you like doodoo.
Like the ideas that you thought were hot, just ain't that hot.
Yeah, you let it sit for a bit and then let it stir for a bit, and then you're like, oh, maybe this wasn't. what I thought it was. Yeah, and
then eventually you keep on repeating that process. Now you get he fell off. He don't got it no more. He's not like his first two albums.
Yeah,
right. I used to feel this way. R.I.P. DMX. DMX's first two albums were amazing. Maybe even the third one was good. But then after that, he started declining. Like the flow patterns weren't as in the pocket. And, you know what I mean? He didn't come up with as much ideas. It started becoming repetitive. And, man, like to stay on top as a rapper, you might need a team.
Yeah, well, he was also a crackhead, so.
Well, you need a team then, because you're busy smoking crack too. Come on, fam.
I'm pretty sure
it's a busy day.
I feel like if you have somebody like Swiss Beats around you, and you can still, you just don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah,
which is sad to say.
Swiss is coming up with hooks. He's coming up with flow patterns.
No, but look at the lifestyle that Swiss Beats has.
Yeah.
Look how he's educating himself now, and the lifestyle that he gives out to the public. That's his real life. Maybe he's a swinger. He's out there fucking, and, somebody's wife next to him.
They don't find out.
They're having orgies.
You don't know. You don't know, right? But like the life that he's giving out there is completely opposite to that. How can you be? And that you can't. Nobody can sit here and tell me Swiss Beats wasn't looking out for DMX the whole time. You can't.
But there was
you can't tell me.
There was probably a point in time where he's just like he had to fade and do his own thing in life.
Absolutely, but the fade definitely was not to the point where that if X called him, he didn't answer. I don't ever see that happening.
He was loyal to X all the way to the end.
I don't ever see that happening.
Yeah,
with
for
Swiss
That's
sure.
one thing he showed. He was like, yo, even
Of course, he would have to call, right?
And he
I'm not
probably-
calling.
no.
you.
Sometimes he would say he'd go find him because
And because it had been so long, right?
no, he'd just be like, this guy would disappear, and he would be the only one. He'd be mad because he's like, yo, fam, like he's the reason that all of us are rich.
Yeah.
Right? Like they got rich off of X's hits.
And that brings you full circle to the conversation where we were talking about people that are entitled who feel like they should be getting peace while you're on top. What happens when I'm falling now? And now I need to come to you, and you didn't do the proper things to make sure that your financials were steady. Now I need 10K from you.
Yeah.
You don't got it, but you probably wearing a chain that I got you.
Yeah.
That's worth more.
And I'm protecting you so you could keep wearing.
Now who's protecting who, right?
Yeah.
It's things that people don't think about, like I said, because are not able to look at it from the other side. But it's just I don't know, man. This world is just really, really messed up, especially the hip hop game, especially in Toronto. And it's really sad because I remember I grew up in the time where we literally had our own sound. Like Toronto rap was popping. Like, no, I don't care what song comes out. Respect to Pengs and
Pengs and Tutu.
the Blanco track is fire.
We love hip hop.